also could his breathing get worse to where that, the swelling in his throat gets so bad that he's really starting to struggle. So morning, viewers, from the Simpson Desert Oasis Roadhouse in Bedourie. Now, it is time for us to leave. In fact, we haven't overstayed our welcome, but we did stay extra because of their incredible artesian spa and their almost Olympic-sized swimming pool. We absolutely love this. Now, when it's really busy, when the Bedourie camel and pig races are on, you will probably find that the gates just chocked open, so you don't need to go and get yourself a pass. However, it is recommended that as far as insurances go, and the council in town here, the Diamantina Shire Council, if you go to the VIC, the Visitor Information Centre, probably should be the first place you stop and visit in any of these towns. Go and say hello, friendly staff. They'll give you a special key card that actually zaps you in and out in normal circumstances. For that privilege, you pay $10, but you can come and go from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in high season. And again, that is why we decided to stay longer, because what an absolute treat. We loved it. The hot pool, 40 degrees. The cold pool, probably 28. So really fantastic. And Jasper got to give a very unique Outback experience, something you would never normally get to do, and that was with his Sue Blue underwater scooter. How fantastic was that? All right, the fuel here, $2.48.9. Isn't it going up? And look, we're going to start to now head down to Betoota, and hopefully as we start to head east back towards the coast, those fuel prices will start to come down. But that is certainly getting up there. $2.48.9 for diesel.
So we've had a really different day today. We left Bedourie at about 10:30 this morning, I think it was, maybe 11 actually, by the time we popped some water in the tanks and got going. I did a load of washing, which was great. It's been really, really windy today driving, and we actually took, I guess, what you'd call the cut-through route to Betoota Pub. So instead of going all the way back down to Birdsville, you can actually turn off, I suppose, the main road between Bedourie and Birdsville. I think it's called Stony Creek Crossing Road, and at the Kakuri ruins there. And we followed that, which saves about, oh gosh, I think it must be about 130 kilometres. I'll fact check that. I'll actually look it up on maps. We're a bit confused by the kilometres, but I think all in all it was only about a 255 kilometre day. But the wind has been really hectic, and that cut-through road, that Stony Creek Road, is all unsealed, as most of the roads out here in this part are. So we just took it really easy. We stopped to film a bit. But we've pulled up at the Betoota Pub, and it is just still seriously so windy, like all the windows closed. So yeah, we're just bunkering down, but it's crazy because it doesn't matter what you do. Like the boys have just literally walked in the door, and I have wiped the benches that many times. Just as soon as you open anything, this fine layer of dirt just blows in. It reminds me of being up on the Cape. The only difference today is that it's been predominantly a really fine white dust as opposed to red. But crazy. Hopefully these windy conditions die down a bit for tomorrow as we push on back to Windorah. The landscape out here is absolutely spectacular. What'd you find?
A few of these. We're going to
That's
play
a gibber.
Betoota bocce.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's actually, it rolls really well. It's a gibber.
A gibber.
Which,
Well, we passed plenty of gibber planes today,
yeah,
didn't we?
we've seen plenty of gibber planes.
Did you
There's
make
even the
any,
gibber. Oh, no. I
Is it
read it
actually-
from that snake artwork. The snake artwork that we passed made out of some gibbers.
Jeez. Good thing
Some
that the
gibbers.
van is tough, eh?
Some
They're solid, those gibbons.
gibbers, rocks. Perfect. It's great for breaking your table.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Phew. Lucky the zone's tough. All right, I'm going to start chopping up for dinner. We were going to go over to the pub, but unfortunately, Paulie took a wander over there, and they've got one meal they're serving tonight, which is ham and salad, unfortunately. So for us pescatarians, that might just be a little bit of a stretch. And she said we could just do the salad, but I don't know. I think I'd much rather just to cook us a healthy dinner. I'm going to do some Mexican. Sound good? No.
oh,
Mexican?
I like Mexican. Yum.
We're back on the road. Thankfully, the wind has died down a lot since yesterday. Only a short drive up the road is Dion's Lookout. If you get the opportunity to stop here on the way in and out, it's worth every minute of your time. The view is absolutely breathtaking. We are loving the amount of wildlife we are seeing out here and never get tired of seeing Old Man Emu. There's so much more traffic today. We barely saw another vehicle yesterday. A good reminder to not become complacent on these long travel days. Be aware of not only cars oncoming, but also coming from behind, and be prepared to be blinded by the dust. Keep a straight line, slow down and drive to the conditions. And we always drive with our headlights on. All right, it's time to air up. Yeehaw!
Holy
How?
Doesn't that go to show?
Oh, it was because we're on the windy
Driver's
side,
yeah.
on this side.
Driver's side?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Paul, you've got to get a shot from down under there. Passenger side.
Look at it. Oh my god, look at the rocks. That is weird. That is crazy. Oh, I tell you what is the good news. So we're back on the bitumen, baby. And we do love the off-road travel. We actually, it's probably some of our most favourite travel, isn't it, Katie? And Katie does a lot of the driving there as well, which is awesome. But wowzers, sometimes the kilometres seem longer than others. Today,
That stretched it.
just felt like it went on forever. And the road was definitely rougher coming out than it was going in. But anyways, we've still got a good 110 clicks to get into Windorah, and we'll probably call it a day, which we could keep kicking on, but I think it'd be nice just to have a really easy afternoon. We were going to stay out of town, but I'm pretty sure we will actually stay in, take advantage of those super hot showers at the council-run caravan park there, and we'll probably head back into the pub for some dinner. All right, what I'm going to do now is air up. And if you caught part 1 of the Brizzy to Birdsville bash, you would have seen that at this point, heading west to Birdsville, I aired down. And I kept the tyres down under 30 psi. And again, that's just going off, well, now our own experience, but also that great advice from Tony Davies, who runs those tag-alongs and never gets punctures. With all the vehicles over the 10 years that he's been going, he's had 2 punctures. And that's because when you get to these gravel roads, air down to below 30 on our setup. Obviously, do your own research. But there you go. So I'm going to air the tyres back up to where they're meant to be, and we'll hit the road. Katie's going to get some lunch on, and Jasper, what are you going to do, mate?
Sit.
Yeah, look at that, hey? You should be helping Mum. You should be helping me. Actually, you can come out and help me. That's a good idea.
Zone RV. Awesome design.
Alright, this is the last tyre on the van, and then I'm going to move on to the 300, alright?
Alright.
Good boy.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. What are you doing?
I just made you a snack/lunch. Come and eat. I just wrapped them up so that the little flies that There you go, Jay. Get into that.
Try not to be too worried. Don't let him get worried.
No.
Is that alright? Alright. Let's have a chat. Alright, hopefully this all looks more dramatic than it is, and I guess this is that part of travel that as a parent that you dread in a way, you try not to think about, you hope you're prepared for, but little Jasper's had a cough for the last couple of days, probably almost 2.5 days, but into late afternoon today we pulled into Windorah. We thought, oh, maybe he's coming down the other end of it, but then, as it seems to be the way with kids, the night falls and he started to get harder and harder to breathe, that really raspy, almost barky kind of cough, very croupy, from most kids that are, any age up to 3 or 4, I think at some point are going to get that. And it's very similar to that. And he was in hospital, a few years ago for a similar thing again, a viral infection that they couldn't really figure out what it was, but it was again that really laboured breathing where it's sucking up under his ribs and his heart rate's quite high, which in kids is normally pretty high anyway, but he's and it flips you out because you just think, is it going to get worse before it gets better? Is it just going to get better? We would always hands down say call 000 or go to the medical centre if you can. In our instance, being out here literally in one of the most western parts of southwest Queensland, there's not a lot of options for that, and so your only option is in after hours emergencies or situations like this to ring 000. So that's what we've done, or I did. I thought, I don't know if I can get through a night where we're so concerned about it, where he could potentially get relief now, and also could his breathing get worse to where that the swelling in his throat gets so bad that he's really starting to struggle. So we've called the guys literally 5 minutes. They're here in an ambulance, albeit a Land Cruiser, and Katie's gone off with them to the medical centre. I dare say they're going to give him some form of steroid or something that will help reduce the swelling there so that he can breathe normally, and they're probably going to monitor him overnight. But anyway, I'll give you an update as soon as we know. Not really much more I can say except it shouldn't be a reason to not travel if you've got kids, but it is definitely a scenario that you're going to be faced with at some point, whether it's split heads, broken bones, or this sort of situation. Breathing, I'll put it up there. It's oxygen's pretty important to life, so it's one of those ones where I felt necessary to ring 000. Anyway, we'll let you know how we go. How's he doing this morning?
Yeah, he's doing a little bit better, I think. The medication that Trish gave us last night is certainly helping. It's eased the rapid shallow breathing, which is good. So he's just stuffed this morning after a really late night, and then
See your eyes.
how do we look? All the parents out there are like, yeah, why does this always happen in the middle of the night?
I don't know, it's strange.
He's so good though. I have to say, he's an awesome unwell patient, and massive shout out to regional healthcare facilities like this. The service that we got last night, the speed in which Trish was here with the ambulance. They took us, it's only 800 metres down the road to the medical clinic. The clinic was incredible. Her level of care was fantastic. She dropped us back home. Just awesome. Jasper and I are going to get out shortly and go for a little bit of a wander to drop her down. A little gift, something we spoke about last night with her, and she said she'd just check his chest again.
So, thank you to Trish. Again, a great reminder, our charity of choice has always been the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Not that we've used them, but we've met plenty of people that have had life-threatening situations that have. And it is a free service for all Australians.
Yeah, amazing.
Get on, buy a shirt, visit them when you're in those locations where they have an RFDS experience, and get on and support them. Why is there no flies on you and 215 on me? Thanks for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share our channel. And if you'd like more information on full-time RV travel and living, visit our website, thefeelgoodfamily.com. There you'll find loads of free resources, our weekly podcast, caravan cooking recipes, our monthly magazine articles, and much more. We look forward to seeing you next week. Take care of yourself and your family, and happy trails.